You're diligent. You're loyal. You're confident. And Jonah came up with confident, well, and Riley too, because you wouldn't just let the boys push you in the pond at camp. That you actually fought back and won. That you are trustworthy, and my personal favorite, special. And in all of that, you are self-reliant. That there are so many things, like we talked about with Keyshawn, that you feel like you can handle on your own. And like I encouraged him, that's what this line is today. You're telling us that you are not self-reliant, that there's a part of you that will only be complete with Keyshawn.
April, don't. Please.
That's the line that you're stuck in.
You're going to make us all move.
So as you are about to step over this line and declare your insufficiency, I want to encourage you and bring you to the point that this line isn't just an arbitrary line that's drawn. Someone came up with the line. And if we don't look at his purpose of the line, I think we miss the whole point. So I'm going to read a passage out of Ephesians chapter 5, because it talks about God's creation of the line and what he is expecting from you too. Because as you're looking at each other and you realize what I was saying was true, that you are insufficient and not whole with each other, that's a feeling. And the truth of the matter is that you're wholly insufficient without him. And as the creator of the line, he can actually tell you how the line works. So I want you to listen to this. Wives, be subject to the Lord. Wives, be subject to your own husbands as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ also is the head of the church, he himself being the Savior of the body. But as the church is subject to Christ, so also wives ought to be subject to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of the water with the word, that he might present to himself the church in all her glory, having no spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that she should be holy and blameless. So husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. So, as God symbolizes his own line in this marriage,
give it to Don.
It comes down to love and respect. And those two things seem pretty easy. But here's the standard that he's holding it to. We say we can love, but Keyshawn, you are to love in this relationship to the point of total self-sacrifice. We're expecting, and she's expecting herself to be subjected to you, to be under your authority. But that is because she's anticipating that you're going to love her as Jesus does. And what did Jesus do? He gave himself completely. So when she's looking at you, that's what she's expecting. That's not just love. That's something bigger than that. That's the shoes you're trying to fill today as you step over the line. And Hannah, you're going to look at his love and respect his effort and the authority that God is placing him over you today. To recognize that authority and respond to his love in them. That's big. That's not just stepping over a line. This is a big step. And that's what you're committing to today. This is not subjection and dominance. This is love and respect. That's what God says this line is built on, because it's a reflection of his love for the church. That's a big shoe to fill. When you do that, you'll recognize not only your insufficiency without each other, but your completeness in each other and in him as you love and respect like he does. That's my charge to you. Now I've talked too much, and it's your turn. Now, for those of you sitting down out here, I have no idea what's about to happen, and that's the honest truth. They wrote their own vows, so they said, and they've been a secret up to this point. Keyshawn, I don't know if this was selfish or selfless, but basically deferred to Hannah to go first. He said because he would make her cry and he wanted her to be able to get it out without crying. I don't know that that's really the way it is or not, but